Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the sound system demo on the 2022 Subaru Forester and its upgraded 9-speaker Harman Kardon audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, controls, speaker locations, then we're going to head out onto the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you're tired of hearing the same songs week in and week out, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. I recorded a members-only sound test for this car with real music requested by other members, so if you want to check that out and support the channel, check the link below. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. It's very windy today, so we're going to make this brief, but this is the wilderness version of the Subaru Forester. Lift it up a little bit more, some special aesthetic bits. It's pretty fun to drive around, even if it is a bit lethargic with this naturally aspirated 2.5 liter motor. If you do want to see more on the Forester, check the links in the description. We've reviewed a normal Forester Sport before, and then obviously this one, so we'll put all the videos down below. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files plugged directly into the system. Today we're not using a USB stick because the USB sticks were not coming up on the system for some reason. I need to maybe try reformatting my USB drives, see if maybe a different format would work with this car, but we are still using Apple CarPlay, which should be lossless, and the tracks are still uncompressed. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory default, so let's take a look at those now. The single screen, sort of, I mean, if you count that as infotainment, then it's a double screen, but for all intents and purposes, a single screen infotainment system, which if you'd like to see a more detailed breakdown on, check the link in the description for Chris's infotainment review. But I think it works pretty darn well. We have got Apple CarPlay up right now, but let's go home and over to settings and then sound. Greeted with an EQ and sound position option, go in there and you have adjustments for bass, mid-range, and treble, as well as a front, rear, left, right fader and balance that you can move around. We'll put that back to center and then go through bass and treble and mid-range. And that one screen is it for audio adjustments. Everything else is sound related, how loud the entertainment is, microphones, things like that, GPS, prompts, that sort of deal. For audio controls in the Forester, you have a nice volume knob here. It's a nice reach for the driver and passenger. It's got kind of faint clicks, but it's a larger knob, easy to turn. And then you've also got a volume rocker on the left side of the wheel. For track selection, you've got buttons right here you can use. You can use this scroller knob. If you're on the media screen, you can use the touch screen, or you can use the steering wheel right above the volume control, left, right there, right where they should be. For audio inputs in the Forester, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, Bluetooth, support for USB-A data in, including wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack, and a disc player. Not too many disc players left on the market here in 2022. What does that mean you're missing? Well, there's no wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You can use a little dongle box like this. I got this one, it's the Smart Box on Amazon. This makes it so you can have wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, but from the factory, it's just wired. And you don't have any sort of streaming services built in, and you also don't have any USB Type-C ports. Not the end of the world in my eyes, but something to consider. Oh. There we go, music's back on. I guess it defaulted back to CarPlay there after a moment. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 9-speaker system. Starting in the bottom left, you've got a door woofer there, one kind of a mid-range tweeter deal going on there, 2, 3, 4, and then back here, 5, 6 combo speaker, 7, 8 over there, and admittedly, I'm not 100% sure if this is the combo speaker or if the combo speaker's up front, but from the best I can tell, this seems like it's probably a mid-range tweeter combo there. And then, in the trunk area, you've got your number 9 subwoofer right there making, well, 9. Alright, well let's get this stuff put away so that we can get on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling. When I first started listening to this system, I was disappointed in the lack of high ends. There isn't much crispness coming from the tweeters up front. But the more I listen to it, the more different kind of songs I listen to, I realized it does have a lot of nice power in the mid-range and the low end. They tuned the subwoofer back there nicely to really move the music through your chest and through your heart to make you feel the songs. And I think that's a pretty successful route for them to go for kind of an upper mid-range system like this. Would I like a little more high-end crispness? Yes. Fortunately, as you saw there a few songs ago, the tweeter was up by 3. That's how I was testing it. If you just bump that tweeter or the treble up a little, it does sound more satisfying and a little bit better balanced. So definitely remediable, just kind of surprising they wouldn't go that way from the factory. For this next song, we'll turn the bass all the way up and see if we can get any distortion out of that subwoofer. Different, and actually I'm getting a decent amount of bass coming from the door woofers as well, so good amount of shakeage, but turning that bass up didn't make a huge difference in terms of the actual amount of bass coming through. So that tells me that the flat EQ setting is already fairly bass heavy, which I've noticed in other songs. My thoughts on the 9-speaker Harman Kardon system here in the Subaru Forester. Honestly, better than I expected. When I first started listening to it, like I said, I was skeptical and like, it's going to be a C system, pretty average, but I think it's above average, and I think that owners who have this system are going to be pleasantly surprised with the power that they get out of some of their songs. I don't think it's leading, and I don't even say anything. It's not leading the compact crossover class. The Mazda's better with its Bose system. The RAV4 is a little better with its JBL system. But this is it's a B. It's a very middle B system. Not quite B minus, but definitely not B plus. It's not bad, really. It's just missing a bit of the wow and a bit of the pizzazz, and like I said, that high-end, satisfying crispness to do it tops. But really, I don't mind it. It's just missing a little bit of clarity as well. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the Subaru Forester, check the links in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.